Welcome back to TechGridFX for another price prediction update, and in this video I'll be giving you a price prediction update on Vechain, whose current price stands at the $0.02261 mark, and here on TradingView the market is up by 0.18%. and in this video I want to give you the key scenarios that I expect to play out, basing my analysis on the Elliot waves and the Fibonacci's, and also the key areas of support and resistances, and also draw out the key chart patterns that you have information on this chart. And now kickstart the video by giving a brief of what has been happening here on the Vechain chart. Vechain from the all-time high has been seeing lower prices in this massive ABC corrective movement, which has now taken us back to around the $0.02 mark. And starting my analysis here on the daily chart, after making a low down there, we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side, managed to break above key areas of resistances, but at the key area of resistance at around the $0.03362 mark, we got rejected, and we are seeing a massive pullback to the lower side. Jumping to the 4-hour chart for further analysis. Here on the 4-hour chart, after making a low down there, we saw a very nice bounce to the upper side in a movement that I was terming as an Elliot wave structure, having these as the wave 1, then a wave 2, then a wave 3, a wave 4, then a wave 5. And if that movement to the upper side could have played out, I could have named that movement in that Elliot wave structure as a higher Elliot wave count 1, but that movement got invalidated the moment our wave 4 over here retraced into the high of that first wave, and having done so, I had to remove this Elliot wave structure from the charts and view this movement to the upper side as something else. And the only way we can view it as is just a massive ABC corrective movement that was correcting this impulsive movement that gave us a low at around the $0.02 mark. And after seeing that high for that wave C, whatever I expect on this other side is the formation of a 5-wave structure, and over here I've seen the formation of a fractal wave within a wave 1, having this as the wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and then a wave 5. And because we might have seen the low for that wave 5 to the lower side, we can now name this as a higher Elliot wave count 1. Starting with the long-term scenarios that can play out over here, I will start with this movement to the lower side in the formation of a 5-wave structure, and it's possible that now that we have seen the formation of a higher Elliot wave count 1, very soon we are going to see a bit of a bounce over here on the charts in the formation of a higher Elliot wave count 2. And because a wave 2 is a corrective wave, which is a retracement of the first wave, we can use the Fibonacci's, connecting them from the high of the wave 1 to the low of this wave 1 down here, and that gives me a minimum target area for that minimum retracement area for the wave 2 between the fib level 0.618 and the fib level 0.382 as a minimum, and I can mark that target area here on the charts like that. And that target area lies between the $0.029 mark and the $0.026 mark. So it's very possible that now that we might have seen the low for that wave 5 over here and completed a higher Elliot wave count 1, very soon we might see a bit of a bounce over here in the formation of a higher Elliot wave count 2. And in that movement, I would expect us to continue to manage to break above these key areas of resistances at around the $0.024 mark, have a retest of that key area of resistance, and once you see the retest, then we can continue pushing higher into this red target area. Also viewing it from a wider view, we can see the formation of a head and shoulders pattern over here, and if I draw it out on the charts, we can have this as the left shoulder of that head and shoulders pattern. Then we have seen the head, then we have seen the formation of a neckline down here, then we have seen the right shoulder. Then very soon I'm expecting we might see a breakout out of this head and shoulders to the lower side, and in case that movement plays out, I would expect us to lose that key area of support at around the $0.02 mark. And you can see within, after forming the right shoulder, we have been having a bit of a consolidation over here. So in case we see a breakout out of this consolidation to the lower side and lose that key area of support, then it's possible we might be breaking out of this head and shoulders pattern, which is a pattern that normally breaks to the lower side, having the target area of that breakout as the height between the head and the neckline. So using a trend line, we can get that height between the head and the neckline, then place it down here to give us a minimum target area to the lower side, and that gives me a minimum target area back to around the $0.011 mark. So it's possible in case we see a breakout to the lower side, lose that key area of support, Vechain might be headed back to around the $0.011 mark. So let's be patient and see how that plays out, whether we are going to see the formation of a wave 2 to the upper side or see a breakout out of this head and shoulders pattern to the lower side. Also going to the short-term scenarios that can play out after forming the right shoulder of that head and shoulders pattern. You can see we have been trading within this channel, and if I jump to the 1 hour chart so that we can see this better, here on the 1 hour chart you can see we have managed to break out of that channel to the lower side, and we even had a retest of the lower side of that channel in this movement right here. You can see we saw that breakout to the lower side, then saw a retest of the lower side of the channel, and after seeing that retest we have continued to see lower prices, and that would mean it's possible that Vechain might be unlocking low prices very soon in case we don't see an increase in volatility that is going to help it pump. In case that doesn't happen, then Vechain could be heading to the worst case scenarios by unlocking lower prices and get us back to around the $0.02 mark, and in that movement we might see the breakout out of that head and shoulders pattern. So let's be patient and see how that plays out, and we can invalidate this movement to the lower side in case we manage to get back into this channel once more and continue trading to the upper side of the channel. And in case we see movement to the upper side and manage to break above the key area of resistance at around the $0.024 mark, and maybe break out of the channel to the upper side, maybe even see a retest of the upper side of the channel, then we can say we might continue pushing higher in the formation of a higher Elliot wave count too, and that movement I would expect it to get us into this red target area that I have drawn out here on the charts for that minimum target area in the formation of a wave 2. Getting back to the 4 hour chart so that we can also take a look at the indicators here on the RSI. On the RSI we are trading at around the 43 mark, and that means we have massive room for us to support any movement to the upper side in the formation of a wave 2, and in case we also see a breakout out of that head and shoulders pattern, we have a bit of room for us to support the movement before we get into the oversold region. Then also taking a look at the MACD, here on the MACD we have printed a bearish cross, and that would mean lower prices could be coming our way. So let's be patient and see how that plays out, and I'll keep you updated.